Oops. Oh, you get a green background today. I'm so tired. Obviously, I'm too tired to even get the right background in there. Sometimes that happens to us all. We just get tired and we have to get up anyway. We have to get about our day. We have to get to work. But where does rest play into this? Is my tiredness because I've actually been working so hard? Is rest something that's only done in bed? And if it is, can I have too much of it? That's what we're talking about this Shepherd's Morning. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to our time and our place together. A place where we rise with the Lord and rely upon His holy word each and every day of our lives. I want to thank you for being here with me this morning, this Shepherd's Morning. All right, we're going to change that background just because that looks kind of silly. We got to do something else other than that. Whoa. Who wants a different background here? We like libraries. We like all that. Let's go somewhere tropical. There you go. Look at that. Pastor has a whole new place to broadcast from. That'll work. Enjoy the view. But let's get into this. Sleep. I should have gotten a bedroom picture. That would have been funny. A good bedroom picture. Anyways, getting back to it. Let's start focused. Rest. Well, you know what? I know I rest in the Lord. I know I sleep a lot. I know this morning I didn't want to get out of bed. I mean, that little picture you see of me was like, I was ready for that thing. Oh, that's a green cap. You can't see it because the little green screen's pulling it out. I slept last night from 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. this morning, which I realize for some people they're like, that's nothing. But for me, my rhythm is 5 to 6 hours. Sleeping that long was forever. And still in the morning, I couldn't get out of bed. And I had to ask myself, why? What's the deal here? Why can't I wake up and get energized? And I realized it's because I'm on vacation. My body was suddenly letting go of all the pent-up tension and the energies. And even yesterday, which was Memorial Day, we were on vacation. But even then, I wanted to go and see friends. So we were busy. Even though we've been given this time to remember our fallen, to rest together, to sit with others, I made it a time of busyness. Now, it was still really good. Make no mistake, I love that time. But I wasn't resting in that moment. Maybe I needed to just sleep, like what happened last night. I mean, rest is a time of true abandon. You're supposed to, before you go to bed, oh God, all the problems of today, Lord, are yours. If you've never learned this, hear this now. Just say, God, whatever problems I have, whatever bills I have, I leave them to you because you're bigger than them. And then you leave them. In fact, one of my favorite parables was an individual who had an empty bowl beside his bed. And when he was asked what it was for, that was the exact answer. He goes, every night, before I'm there, I put all my problems in the bowl, knowing that God can handle them and God will take care of them, and that He'd given me this time for rest. I'll still be there in the morning, and if I want, I can pick them back up and take them with me throughout the day. It was a beautiful metaphor for remembering to rest in the Lord, of course. Some of us forget to do that, and our sleep becomes this haunted, tossing and turning time where we're hanging on to the past. And of course, yesterday being Memorial Day, I know so many vets that struggle with that. Vets that I talk with, vets that I help. It's not always easy to let that go. And yet, we must, because we need to rest. We need to sleep. We need to recharge and be ready. I mean, Jeremiah 31:25 that I put on the screen reminded us that we are to be refreshed by God. That He will actually seek out the weary, seek out the faint, those who can go no farther, and He's the one that refreshes us, that gives us new energy, the energy to get out of bed and get going again. And yet it's the same God that I'm saying energizes us, that tells Ezekiel, hey, guess what? You're going to rest on one side for over a year. 390 days. Oh, and then when you're done with that, flip over like a pancake, because you're going to rest on the other side for 90 days, 3 months. Now, I know some of you are probably saying, well, that just was where he was sleeping. Perhaps. I mean, we do know that God told him exactly what to eat during this time, exactly what to drink during this time. Or maybe it was this enforced rest. And then I'm not talking about a tiredness rest. See, there was this whole siege going on. And here he takes this leader, this prophet, and says, you're going to do this as an example. Maybe it was more about trusting in God, resting in him to take care of the details. See, God told him what to eat, what to drink, what to do, and he had to surrender his will and just rest in God. So maybe our rest is about more than merely the number of hours that we sleep. Maybe our rest is about trusting God, just like that metaphor I said about putting our problems in the bowl and just saying, God, whatever our problem is, sieging a city, paying the bills, keeping a roof over our head, we can trust you with this time, that we can sleep, that we can rest, because you're the one that will handle this. That trust thing is taught to us when we're very young. If any of you have ever been parents, you know your children will get so tired and they're like, oh, my eye, no, I'm not tired. And their eyes are closed while they're telling mom and dad, I'm not tired. And you're like, okay, you gotta go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. And they're just going back and forth. And then as a parent, what do? You take them by the hand, you gently lift them up. You say, okay, sweetheart. And you bring them to bed. You say, it's okay. You don't have to go to sleep. I'll stay here with you. I'll talk to you. I'll hold you. We'll play a game. And as the child's like, yes, 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 they nod off to rest because they need it. Even when they're yelling at you, I'm not tired. I want to do things my way. And we have to learn to rest and trust our parent. Our parent's going to take care of us. It's interesting to me, not easy. It's interesting to me because even the disciples who followed Jesus often were confused about this idea of resting, of even about sleeping. They don't always understand what's going on, and yet Jesus does. Think about it with the story of Lazarus. Lazarus is Jesus' friend. And Jesus and his disciples, his other friends, are out here. And they get this letter, and it says, Lazarus is sleeping. And what Lazarus' sister was writing was that she feared he was going to die. And what's interesting is that the disciples are like, let him sleep. Sleep is good. He'll rest. He'll wake up. I think it was John 11:12. He'll wake up. He'll get better from this. Don't worry about it, Jesus. Jesus is like, no, we're going to take the journey back. Because Jesus knew something already. Lazarus wasn't sleeping. By the time he gets the letter, Lazarus is already dead. See, sleep is for us to recharge. But God, who is with us, is the true one that recharges. It's God who calls us out from death. It's God who wakes us up. It's God in whom we can trust at any day of our lives. It's not about us being in control and us choosing when to sleep, when not to sleep. We're to sit there and cut out some time to honor this temple that is housing the Holy Spirit, to take care of it. Not to be lethargic and do it too much, and not to do too little and burn it out. We have to take care of it. We have to trust. I don't know, where do you trust God? Who do you trust when you're sleeping? I hope you trust the spouse if you're married sitting next to you in bed, for gosh sakes. Trust there that you can wake them up, that you will rise with them, that they will love you, care for you. Trust. And trust God Almighty. I want to leave you with this simple thought. It's one of my favorite stories that I've told. There's a young man, and he's sleeping in bed. Doesn't get up. And it's Sunday morning, time for church. And mom comes into the room and, hey, time to get up. You got to go to church. And the young man's like, no, I don't. Let me sleep. Tired. A couple minutes later, the voice that was yelling from downstairs, mom's now at the door. She's like, hey, son, you got to get up. You got to go. And his son says, I don't want to go. Leave me alone. So mom, being a mom, comes in, sits down at the edge of the bed, pats her son on the back and says, son, You have to go. It's time for church. And he says, no, I don't want to go. They don't like me there. And she goes, son, you have to go. You're the pastor. Brothers and sisters, I hope that you have enjoyed our morning together. I hope that you found it valuable to your soul, that you can start off today. Remember this, if you're tired, rest. And when you're ready, rise anew. Just like that sunrise that you saw behind me throughout this entire thing. Rest is a time that God has given for you. Live into it. So tell me in the comments down below, is resting in the Lord different from sleep for you? Are they one and the same? Is it a spiritual time you hear God? Or is it just a time when your body goes to sleep and you hope to wake up refreshed? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to chat with you more about it. If you like the videos, hit subscribe, follow me on YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you, my brothers and sisters, in the morning. God bless you.